Peace Talk should be out soon, I believe. I don't know those books. I'll be honest, I don't read that much. Currently I'm rereading Extracted. I can't think of who the author is. And I've already closed Google. Is it R.R. Haywood? But it's a trilogy called Extracted. It's a time traveling book. It's pretty entertaining. I really like it. I tend to read the same books over and over and over. So like once I have an audiobook or something in my bookshelf, I tend to reread the same books over and over. I don't like a lot of modern authors. I don't like most stories I read. Most books I read are terrible, honestly. Like, especially because I like zombie stories. I like post-apocalyptic stories. There are so many of those that are just god awful. Like I was reading one. It was about a guy who has like a severe germophobia. Why is this not letting me stop? Stop. We're very hot. I didn't really pay attention to this because I was talking and got our character in a little bit of trouble. Let's eat some more and get ready for bed here. I was reading a book. It was about a germaphobe who, everyone thought he was crazy because he's a germaphobe. And it's like, all of a sudden, hey, there's a virus that breaks out. And all of a sudden, he's the guy. Oh, he makes more sense than anybody else around here. Can't drink spilled liquids. Where are my beverages? Water. Dirty water. No. Gallon jug? No. Where'd my gallon jugs? And where'd everything go? We don't have a beverage pile. Tools? Why where'd my stuff go? Gal. Look for a gallon jug. Cheap wine of water. They put it on our food pile. Why? Why would you do that? Let's go fill our dirty water. Oh, and the apocalypse comes and everybody's, all of a sudden he's the most rational person on the planet because he's a germaphobe, so he knows how to protect himself. And it's like, okay, I can swallow that. Obviously, you gotta have a main character that stands out against the rest of the world, so that's fine. And then and everybody's acting crazy because it's the apocalypse, so they go out and they get supplies, and on their way back to base, they get jumped by these guys. They're stuck in traffic, and some guys roll up in a pickup truck, and they try to steal their supplies, but they fight them off with guns. And I was like, okay, people do, in apocalypses tend to steal from each other. It happens, it's a pretty common trope in post-apocalyptic, whatever. I was like, okay, that makes some sense. So the guys in the pickup, they tear away and they drive away, and these guys are the main characters are still stuck in traffic. So you're like, okay, so that threat is gone, whatever. They drive down the road like 15 miles. They go down their exit. They go all the way. They're heading back to base, and they have to stop for the night because it's like, oh, it's overnight, whatever. These guys in a pickup truck who tore away way before them, who would have had no idea where they were going or where they came from, just happened to find their camp. And it's like, okay, you're asking me to believe a little bit much at this point. How did they find them? Why would they come back? Like, why? They know they have guns. Why would they come try to take their supplies? It really is just basic stuff like water and whatever. So these guys steal their supplies, and you're like, okay, okay. And they burn their truck. And it's like, okay, why would they do that? They just came to take your supplies. Why would they why wouldn't they steal the truck, instead of whatever? It's like, okay, all this is a little far-fetched, whatever. So they walk into town for hours and hours and hours, and they get to the police station to report all this, and they go inside, and what do they find? It's the same guys in the pickup truck are police officers in this station. And it's like the whole book from there, every time they did anything, anytime they went anywhere, these same exact people were there. And I was like, like putting I don't even know how to say what I'm complaining about, but like putting a coincidence in your story is not a big deal at all. Coincidences do happen. A lot of times it comes across lazy because you're like, okay, well, sure, that could have happened, but what are the odds that really happened? And then there are just so many moments where I'm like, why would they keep showing up? You've driven 70 miles from the place you first met them. What are the odds that they would be there? It just seemed so lazy. You were trying to force conflict because you wanted these people to be like the bad guys in your story. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel like real people would behave this way. That too, like, the apocalypse has barely started. People are gathering supplies, whatever, but these guys jumped right to like burning your truck up, possibly trying to kill you. It's like most people, especially, and they're police officers, they jumped right to murder from like, oh, I need some water. I don't know. I don't even know how to say what I'm saying. I just was very annoyed by that story. Most zombie apocalypse, post-apocalyptic stories I read are terrible. Even the ones I read a long time ago that I thought were good are like not very good. Like I went back and tried to re-listen to that series called Dies the Fire. And I read this years ago and was like, it's kind of neat. It's like the laws of thermodynamics change. So like an item that used to be a refrigerator all of a sudden is now a heater. The gunpowder doesn't work. Electricity doesn't really work. It's these people surviving in a world without this technology. And when I first read it, I was like, this is pretty okay. It's interesting. It's obviously this person who wrote it is a survivalist, whatever. But I went back and tried to listen to it again, and like literally the first chapter, there's like a guy in his 30s, and he meets this family, and this family has a girl who he doesn't know how old she is. She looks like she's like 16 to 18. And his inner dialogue is like talking about her legs and like telling himself like, down boy, don't be aggressive with this. And it's like, dude, she's like, you're like 30. She's like 16. This is weird. And then the more I read the story, the more the weirdness was, the more stuff I didn't see the first time going through. And it's just so peculiar. There was a zombie podcast I tried to listen to, and like, it reminded me of it because the kid thing, it was like partway through, this adult starts having a relationship with like a 16, 17-year-old, and I was like, who wrote this? You obviously just wrote this because you're trying to live out a weird fantasy of the zombie apocalypse where you get stuck with some young girl, and it just makes me feel icky. And it's like, I don't want to read this. Who wrote this? And I'm snobby, I guess, when it comes to that kind of stuff. I have like an idea of what I like and what I don't like, and when I find something I don't like, I don't bother finishing. I just give up on the story. So it's really hard to find good zombie apocalypse or post-apocalyptic stories, I think, which is one of the reasons why I wrote them so much when I was younger, is because like most of the stuff out there, even if you go by movies, how many good zombie movies are there? Like 4, right? Like 28 Days Later. I kind of like the Dawn of the Dead remake. I know a lot of people don't. I like that one though. The Girl with All the Gifts, the Train to Busan. That's it, right? Like, are there any other good? Like the original Romero movies, some of them are okay, some of them are pretty bad. I kind of like the racial themes in it. I kind of like some stuff about them, but like they're really hit and miss. Some of the quality, because they're so old, is problematic. Character development wasn't what it is today. There's a whole bunch of stuff that makes it like, it's okay, but it's not amazing. And it's so hard to find good zombie stuff. Like, I can't think of another good zombie movie. Train to Busan was fantastic. It's a little goofy at parts, but like, this is a fantastic movie. I really like The Girl with All the Gifts. I've only watched it once, so it could be terrible. Maybe I just got caught up in the moment and thought it was really good. And then 28 Days Later is like the gold standard for a zombie movie. I probably ought to watch those. I don't think I've seen one before the Romero movies. They're okay. For the time, they were amazing. I think now they're just okay. I'm not a huge fan. The first, what was the first one? Night of the Living Dead, I think, is like so old I find it hard to watch it, but there's some interesting stuff going on. Dawn of the Dead, I don't like the first one, to be honest. I like the remake a lot better than the initial one, just because it's a little bit more actiony. I just couldn't get into the first one, the original. But yeah, they're worth watching if you haven't seen them. But there are also a lot of them. Like, there's a ton of Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead 2, 3. Like, isn't there one where, like, a boy's girlfriend dies in a motorcycle accident and he brings her back? She comes back as a zombie, and, like, the whole movie is about him trying to deal with her eating people and stuff. Like, some of them are very peculiar. There's just so many bad zombie movies. I remember there was one, Zombies on a Plane or something like that. Dead Air, I think it was called. No, Dead Air. Dead Air was the zombie apocalypse story where they're trapped in a radio station. There was definitely a Zombies on a Plane movie. There are so many bad zombie movies. Which sucks, because I love zombies. It's just like zombie games. For every good zombie game, there's 5 or 6 that are just so bad. Gather up all this wood here. Give me the planks. 45 planks. Give me the splintered wood. And what are the other ones? Wood panels. Give me the wood panels. And we'll take those next door. Yes. And we needed to restock. Oh good, I picked up a corpse along the way, so never mind. Let's try this again. Give me the planks, splintered wood, and the wood panels. I really liked the Dawn of the Dead remake. The actors were really good. I love Ving Rhames, so it's like anything Ving Rhames is in is good by me. Plus there were some pretty decent actors. Can't remember her name. Is it Anna Smart, I think is her real name? Played the nurse lead character. But anyway, I like that movie as well. Worst one I ever saw, Fast Zombies with Guns. Holy hell was it bad. I remember Sci-Fi did a bunch of original zombie movies. I think one was like Zombie Strippers, and one was like Zombie High School, where like the Zombie High School, it was kind of like they did drugs or something, but the drugs were tainted and it turned them into zombies, and that's probably like the worst one I've ever seen. I don't remember what it was called, but it was not good. How did all these clothes get in our fire pit? Get out of here. Door hinges too. What did I do wrong there? I must have picked these up when I was hauling by accident. Scrap metal, suit, t-shirt. There we go. So now we have a healthy supply of wood. We can go back to reading. But there are some god-awful ones. Ving Rhames is an awesome actor. I grew up really liking Ving Rhames. There was a series of movies called Undisputed, I believe, where he was what they were called. Let me give this a Google as well. I hate being wrong about names, and I'm so bad about names on the spot. Undisputed movie. Undisputed, 2002. Yes, Ving Rhames. Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames is a boxing movie about boxers in prison who fight, if I remember right. And they made multiple of those movies, and I really liked them when I was a teenager. But that was like the first thing I really got drawn to Ving Rhames in. But he's in a lot of stuff. He is a good actor. I enjoy him in most things. I wish I could do an impression of him, but I cannot. Cooked meat. I'm just gonna cook all this meat and try to eat it all. We seem to be very hungry because we neglected ourselves yesterday. We eat this food here. Where'd the meat go? Really hate when I have overlapping zones, so it puts a huge list of things in front of me here. Yeah, so let's just put this fire out. It is morning, so we can read by daylight instead of... Oh, do I still have I don't have the electronics book. Where did you go? That's not the book I was reading, is it? It might be. Let's just pop out and continue reading. We probably on Thursday will move into trying to search a lab. Not really interested today in doing that, so probably won't be doing that this stream. I like having music in the background of the stream. I like it. Not only does it help drown out my fan, but I have something nice to listen to. It's not dead silence like it usually is. So yeah, I like it. I like that. He has quite a few albums. Again, Stream Beats by Harris Heller. You need to eat more calorie dense food. Yeah, I probably should have eaten since I cooked all that meat and then didn't really eat very much of it. Cooked meat, eat a lot of it, please. In fact, just go ahead and gorge yourself. We don't need to drink right now, so we'll go back and keep reading. Read. Too complex for you to easily understand. You're belittling my intelligence, game. I thought it was a bit in the way at first, but it is nice, yeah. Yeah, I was concerned about the volume. Is something that I'm going to have to continue. You know, unfortunately, what I hear is not the same as what you hear. Everything gets filtered through my Streamlabs, which, you know, I set to a certain loudness based on the game I'm playing and things. So I really need to dial in the sound. I can't actually hear what you're hearing, so until I look at the footage, I'm not going to be able to know, hey, was it too loud? Until I know what tracks are too loud and I can remove them from the playlist, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time. So he has like 5 albums that are free, and they all sound exactly the same. Read with 35 focus. Yeah, I'm not paying attention to the game. I may have forgotten to turn on my MP3 player, which is probably why that tanked so hard. But oh well, it's nighttime, we're tired again. Wasted a day reading. I don't know, honestly, I'm just trying to kill time at this point. Like, kind of already was interested in maybe closing down the stream, but I've barely been streaming for very long at all, so was just hoping if I could pour a little time into reading, maybe I could get on a topic that would re-energize me a little bit, but I don't know. Let's eat and drink here. Again, we ate all those meat. I don't know if they fixed the calorie thing. It says I'm still low on the calorie count. We could debug check it, but I don't really want to do that. So let's just focus on eating more calories. Let's see what we've got in our freezer out here. Oh no, let's eat the food place food. It's so many calories in such a low volume. So we eat just a ton of calories there. Come back, eat something a little bit more voluminous. Actually drink first. That way we don't end up dehydrated and too full to drink. Great. And let's just head to bed. Take off the armor. Because like I said, I want to wait until next stream to go to the sleep. Yes, to go to the lab. So I'm just trying to kill some time, fill some dead air here, essentially. There's a significant lag, so it'll be a while before you catch up to what you've been eating. If you've been a bit sparse for the past few days, yeah, I would say we played on stream with the calorie issues for like probably 5 sessions, so like 15. You know, ish hours of gameplay, 12, 15-ish hours. So probably our calorie stores took quite a dip, and it's going to take us a while to build that back up. So, yeah, what are you going to do? Thankfully, we have the food place food, which is so calorically dense, and we have so much of it. I just have to remember to eat it. There we got another message about calorically dense food. What are you going to do? Just spoon down mayo, problem solved. I would rather die, sir, than spoon. Oh my god, I saw, why did I see that? Someone posted it on Discord of people eating for the world record of mayonnaise eating. And it's horrifying that you would ever... I mean, no disrespect, that's so gross. I just, and it was a woman too, and I was like, man, I just have never been less attracted to a person in my life than seeing someone shovel mayonnaise into their face with their hands. But anyway, just a, spoiler alert, if you're trying to find a partner or something, maybe don't shovel mayonnaise down your gullet in front of them. Just a little bit of an FYI from Murder, who is clearly an expert at relationships. Look for pumpkin, because we ate a lot of calories, so now we just want to fill our belly. Pumpkin, there we go. Like I do it in the game, but in real life it's vomit-inducing. Yeah, I mean, I think Vormithrax is always talking about how he eats lard and stuff all the time. I'm sure if you min-max and stuff, it's fine, but I don't like to subject my character to those things. That's what I've been doing wrong. Oh, you're a mayonnaise eater, huh? Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. You wake up and you're like, you know what? I really like this girl. I'm gonna eat a bunch of mayonnaise in front of her, and then it backfires. What are you gonna do? What can we do? We can't go back to the hub. It's only been like 2 days. It was day 79, I think, last time we went. We're gonna wait another day or two. What do I even need to do around the base? We finished our vehicle work. We didn't put in those last couple cargo spaces. Where's my welder? I would have left it out somewhere visible. Right here, I guess. Yes, give me these items, please. We'll throw some cargo spaces in our vehicle here to finish routing this thing out. Actually, you know what? The back was supposed to be for the bed. Oh, right. We were talking about extending this another tile. I really don't want to. That's a lot of work. Oh, right. Because we didn't have rechargeable batteries. Because of the plutonium battery issues, it's basically made it impossible for us to have rechargeable medium batteries, which means we, instead of being able to recharge them and use them at our leisure, we have a finite number of battery charges. And admittedly, we have like probably 15,000 worth of charges, but also every tile, every frame takes like 750, I think, for a frame, plus the quarter boards, plus the boards, plus the doors, plus the cargo spaces. I don't know. We probably would be fine, but I'm not going to do it right now. We'll just install a cargo space up front and a bed in the rear. And we'll call that good enough for now. And we should probably repair the vehicle some, but I'd, again, rather hold off. I don't know what we need for the vehicle welder. I think it's like mechanics 5. And probably electronics 5 as well. I don't really feel like checking Chezo's site right now. So let's just put a bed in this. Do you need a seat for that, or do you need to build the bed? I don't remember. Bed. Requires 1 seat. We'll just throw a bed in there so we have a place to sleep. And yeah. Okay, so this should be fully closed up now. Cannot close the windshield. Okay. I grabbed sheets, didn't I? Sheet metal. I thought I grabbed a bunch of sheets. Sheet metal. What do you got? Short rope? No. I thought I pulled down a bunch of sheets. Okay, well, we'll go gather some curtains. Sheets and string. Yes, thank you kindly. Sheets and string. I don't know how many we need. 5, I think. Oh, we did do this, but unfortunately that was when we seg faulted. That's why we don't have these items anymore, because we had seg faulted and had to go back and do that again. Another good first issue. What's that? The making the bed require separate materials than the seat. Would make more sense to do it that way. And if you, again, internet, hey, if you're watching this and you want to be a first-time contributor, you could use the construction menu of building a bed as a benchmark for what the vehicle would require. You could just as easily check this requirements and very easily slot that in for the vehicle version of the bed. If you're looking for a new thing to contribute, which you should definitely contribute, I do try to encourage people to contribute to the game. I don't lead by example, as we discussed earlier. I have a hard time sitting down and doing. I have a pretty short attention span. There's always other stuff I have going on. But I believe everyone should contribute, especially those of you who are watching who play a lot. I know there are some of you who play even more than I do, which to me is absolutely insane because I play multiple hours every week, which to me is a lot. But Some of you play all the time, and some of you like to complain about things. So why not try to make the game a better place, a better version of itself? You know, why not add that interesting thing you've never done before? Okay, so we're exposed to the daylight. Oh, I see. We have a window in our vehicle. Okay, we need to rip that out as well. Give me this glass. Interesting that there's a window. I guess because it's a food truck, it's implying that like we would hand food out here or something, even though it's like a full-on windshield. I'm gonna need sheet metal, so we'll pull this sheet metal over here, install the board, and that should seal up our vehicle. We should be good for traveling and sleeping in the vehicle now. We did start the game with a freezer and with a... Nope, still daylight. Oh, the doors are not opaque. That's right. I did all of this, unfortunately, like I said, we did all this stuff and then we seg-faulted, so I can't remember what all we did and what we didn't do. So let's rip the doors off. We'll take care of that as well. Thankfully, the opaque doors and non-opaque doors use the same items, so we can just slap an opaque door on them. You feel you need to eat more calorie-dense food. Yes, I'm not surprised to hear that, game. Thank you kindly. So yeah, you play the game. Why not contribute something new? Always looking for new contributors, everyone who plays. If you are going to play, maybe you don't want to contribute, you could still make bug reports. That's a contribution of sorts. I meet a lot of people who, in my YouTube comments, for some reason, feel the need to tell me about the most latest games issues, the most latest versions issues. I don't see what I'm supposed to do about it. I would encourage you, if you have issues with the game or problems or bugs, go to GitHub, make a bug report. Everybody likes to talk about features, and that's cool, but nobody wants to make bug reports ever, I notice. And yeah, you can help to contribute to the game by doing that, so highly recommend. Also, it's very rewarding to be a contributor. I gotta tell you, I don't like the headless zombies. We've talked about this. I don't really like them. I kind of think I maybe implemented them in a not great way. But every time I play the game, I get to see some of my work that is made it into a game that I really love. That's very rewarding. That's very satisfying. It's a constant reminder that I probably could have done a better job, but it's nice to be able to say, I added that to the game. They would not exist if it weren't for me. So anyway, that's the contribution speech. Man, my words today are kicking my butt. So we're done with the vehicle work. Drop this here. Long strings. Again, I keep picking up aspirin, and I don't really need a ton of aspirin. Drop the wrench. Drop the welder, the hand drill. How much do we owe you for that? I mean, I like the game. I think it's good to encourage people to contribute, because a lot of times I will talk to people on Discord, because there are negative people. Like I see it on YouTube, or I see it on Discord or Discourse. Somebody says like, oh, I have this idea for this really cool thing. And then what happens is everyone's like, oh, you can add that to the game. And then they shut down. They're like, oh, I can't do it. It's so hard. I wouldn't know how to do that. And it's like, there's so much like negativity surrounding the idea of contributions. Like, people think it's really difficult. Sometimes they suggest things and other people will say like, that's a stupid idea, or I don't like that, or whatever. And it's like, just try to make something for yourself. Play with it personally. If you don't want to add it to the game, you don't have to add it to the game. If you do try to add it to the game, the dev team is going to let you know if this fits or doesn't fit with the game. You're not going to get shamed or something, So I think there's like a ton of negativity surrounding it, but it's actually kind of fun and satisfying to be able to add something to a game and say, I did this, So I do try to encourage people when they see it. And then encouraging people to bug report is like, I'm just tired of hearing you complain without trying to fix it. Like, if it's so bad, just, you can at least make a bug report and try to help it get solved instead of constantly griping about it and making it my problem. So that's a little bit selfish, but what are you going to do? Anyway, let's again eat some food place food to try and build up our calories a little bit more. we're eating a ton of calories. I'm not sure how calorie storage works. I don't know if there's like a certain limit on how much can be transitioned to your calorie stores from your stomach a day, or how that works. So I'm just kind of blindly shoving food in my gob, hoping for it to work out in my favor. And then we'll eat some pumpkin to get rid of the hunger status, as we always do. I do really like pumpkin in this game for that reason. Plus, pumpkin is pretty tasty. No, do not drink the unclean water. Once again, where did my clean water go? I only drank about 6 portions. And now it's gone. Water? Sure, drink the mineral water. I don't want to deal with it. No, don't drink that. And you know, we're at about 2 hours. I think we're gonna call the stream. There is some other stuff I need to get done today. I have therapy tomorrow, which is going to eat up my time tomorrow. Oh, I need to shave as well. I need to get rid of the old beard, I think. Getting a little bit too long. And, yeah, I forgot all about that. So that's going to eat up a bunch of my time tonight trying to trim my beard. But anyway, I think that's a wrap for now. I will unhide my viewer count. 9 viewers. Hey, thanks to everybody who came out. Hopefully you had a good time. Sorry, it's, 2 hours is a respectable length. I will be back on Thursday, of course, with more Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, and we'll try to stream some other things over the weekend or Friday or whatever. So, for now, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.